Hello, dear friends. This is Ukrainian Gaming Week Insider Podcast. My name is Lavrenty Gubin, and today our guest is Earle G. Vice Chairperson of the Board of the International Gaming Standards Association and CEO of Access Big Data Management System. Hello, Earle. Nice to see you.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
So my first question, Earle, now is how do you evaluate in general the new legal framework of the gaming business in Ukraine?
So I'm not a politician, so my answer is quite simple. It's absolutely amazing. I'm very impressed of what they were able to accomplish in a first law. Everybody wants everything to be perfect on the first try, but most credible jurisdictions, it takes 5 to 10 years for a law to evolve enough to be mature and to be strong. But the courage to take that first step is quite impressive by the Ukraine.
As soon as you're dealing with big data and your company is dealing with big data in gaming business, my next question is, what's your opinion on the idea of making the central online system to control the online operators in Ukraine as well as land-based?
First of all, they have no choice. In today's world, you either have money laundering and addictive gambling, which cannot be detected or controlled, and you have no chance to be able to monitor KYC, know your client, or you join the most credible, the most integral, the most transparent jurisdictions in the world, like one of your neighbors, Poland is, and you create an online system that monitors the key metrics that brings all of the integrity and the credibility to the jurisdiction that I think the Ukraine is trying to accomplish inside of the law that they're building.
But how difficult is to make such a system? How difficult is it to implement it on a state level in your jurisdiction like Ukraine?
Well, when you're inside of the gaming industry, I think a lot of people think this is difficult. But when you're in the real IT world and you look at the Netflix, you look at the Amazons, you look at the eBays of this world, the Walmarts, they're already monitoring in real time throughout the world from a big data point of view, every single transaction in real time. So once again, if you ask me, this is a very simple thing that all credible big data companies can offer today. I know it's a step for a lot of jurisdictions that have been server-based, that have been doing things locally, but in the new IT world that we're in, this stuff is pretty simple.
Yeah, but we need to integrate various platforms, and they have very different APIs, and it's all needs to be integrated in one system, and it seems to be quite a costly task, isn't it? Or there are already solutions that could be taken and just moved to Ukraine?
There are solutions that are already out there. When you talk about an API in today's world, the only thing we're really talking about from an IT point of view is to have the specifics of the language of the system and to translate it. If you've ever used Google Translator from one language to another, it was pretty rough about 10 years ago, but today when you use it, it's very impressive. Well, when you compare the APIs from 10 years ago to the APIs from today, you're talking about two different worlds. Something that would have taken 3 years about 10 years ago now is weeks of work to integrate different languages together into one common streaming data platform. So once again, I'm in the world where this stuff is easy.
Do you have any information on what are the current actions the government is taking in regards with this system? Are they talking to some providers already? Are they doing anything, or it's just the plan now?
The hardest part when you have a law is how do you transpose it? How do you make it work in the real world? So I'm hearing a lot of information about integrated resort groups talking to the government. I'm hearing a lot of that, but usually the central monitoring system shows up somewhere in the middle or towards the end of this stuff. So I haven't heard anything about that yet. But once again, for me, that is normal because I think the government's priority here is legitimacy, transparency, and generating revenue, which is very critical as part of that project. And the system shows up somewhere when they get the large revenue stream set up. So that's not worrisome, I don't think.
They just appointed 3 people to the gaming commission, and it seems like none of them have any gaming experience. What do you think about such a decision?
I think that is absolutely excellent. A gaming commission's job is to translate the law into what can be done on the ground. And if it was comprised only of gaming people, it would be solely focused on what the gaming industry wants, where you need a balance. A gaming commission, I would never want to be a gaming commissioner or a gaming commission person because you have to balance the political level, you have to balance the operational administrative level, and you have to please and police the gaming industry. So for them to name 3 people that are not from the gaming industry to start, I'd say it's a brilliant move.
You will speak during the Ukrainian Gaming Week. Can you tell a bit about your presentation? What are you going to speak about?
Yeah, I'd love to. My job on the stage that day is quite simple. It's to explain what the leading jurisdictions are doing in the world to drive credibility, transparency, and integrity. And that all starts with big data. It all starts with protecting information. It all starts with being able to take action in real time. If you have money launderers that are floating around the country doing illicit things, you don't want to hear about it 90 days later. So there are some jurisdictions out there that are doing things the right way. And my only goal of that presentation is to show who is doing what and why it's going to make the difference between those that have to constantly defend their legitimacy and those that are operating legitimately in real time using the new world technology that's out there.
Thank you very much, Earle. It was nice to talk to you. See you during the Ukrainian Gaming Week.
I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much.